Good evening and welcome to the April 14th meeting of the Lowell License. April 13th, right? Is it 14th? 13th, my apologies. Secretary Pires, was the meeting posted?
It was.
Roll call, please.
Commission Chair Dakota.
Here.
Commissioner Howe is absent. Commissioner Krieger.
Here.
Commissioner Donahue is absent. Commissioner Chan.
Here.
3 present, 2 absent. 0th is the acceptance of the March 23rd, 2023 minutes.
Move approval.
Move approval by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Chan. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? The motion carries. Number 1 on the agenda, please.
Application by Bob Keflas for a special one-day license to sell, dispense all alcoholic beverages for the Hellenic American Academy Comedy Night fundraiser on Saturday, April 29th, 2023, from 6:30 to 11 p.m. at the Academy, 41 Broadway Street.
Good evening. State your name for the record, sir.
Geraldo Esquifalis.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Very good. Tell us about your event.
So we have a comedy night, as Tony said, on April 29th. It's going to start at 6, roughly end about 10 to 11. And I'm here to ask for a one-day permit to serve alcohol at that event.
And do you have a tip-certified bartender on for that?
Yes, we
Yes, you do. And how many people are you anticipating at your event?
on a good, probably 200.
No, it's good. It's a good showing.
We're hoping.
You know, Commissioner Krieger is a stand-up comedian, so I don't know if you need a backup.
More than happy to have you too. You can do the
Fantastic,
opening act.
Fantastic. All right. Questions or comments for the applicant? Move approval by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Chan. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Bob, have a good night.
Appreciate it.
Hope it's a
Be safe,
success.
everybody. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Application by Elena Brackett, owner of Purple Carrot Bread Company, for a special one-day license to sell, dispense malt beverages and wines for a Pappardelle menu launch on Saturday, April 22nd, 2023, from 5 to 9 p.m. at Purple Carrot, 107 Merrimack Street.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Elena Brackett.
How are you, Elena?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How are things going?
Good.
Yep.
Getting a lot of buzz for the new restaurants.
Yeah, I think we're all excited for you.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So tell us what's going to happen that night.
So this is where we did a complete menu for Pappardelle, and we're going to launch it at this dinner at Purple Carrot. So people coming to the dinner can try menu items that will be at Pappardelle when we do open.
Commissioner Krieger?
Yeah. Did you bring a Pepperdell so you can show us what this is?
No.
Can you describe it?
So Pappardelle is actually a type of pasta. It's the wide, flat pasta. It's bigger than like fettuccine or linguine. We're going to be doing fresh pasta and like North End style Italian.
Northern Italian. So do you cut it up or do you twirl it on your fork?
I'm a twirler, but
Okay.
a lot of people cut it up.
All right. Well, I guess I'm a Southern Italian.
Any further questions or comments for the applicant? Motion on the floor by Commissioner Chan to approve, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Lena,
Thank you.
good luck. Hope things go well. Okay, take care.
Applications by Amanda Etinge for 2 special one-day licenses to sell, dispense malt beverages and wines only for the following events at the Hellenic Center, 41 Broadway Street. Saturday, May 6, 2023, from 7 to 12:30 a.m., Celebration of Life, and Saturday, May 13th, 2023, from 7 p.m. to 12:30 a.m., a Mother's Day celebration. Amanda is joining us on Zoom.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, John.
How are you?
I'm good and tired.
You tired? What's going on?
It's too hot up here.
You're too what? Come
Too
on now.
hot.
Come on. So we got 2 events here for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Captain Peasley, have we had any issues with Amanda and any of her events?
No issues at all.
All right. Amanda, the police department has given me the okay to make a motion by Commissioner Krieger and a seconded by Commissioner Chan to afford you these 2
Thank you.
applications. You have a good evening and go near the air conditioner, all right?
Thank you, John. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Applications by Joel Mungian for 2 special one-day licenses to sell, dispense malt beverages and wines for concerts that will be held from 6 to 11 p.m. at Mill Number 5, 250 Jackson Street. First one is Friday, April 28th, 2023 for the Town and City Concert, and Saturday, April 29th, 2023 for the next day of the Town and City Concert.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Joel Munchin.
How are you, Joel?
I'm well. How are you?
How are things going?
Great.
Doing all right?
Yep.
Fantastic. 2 more events coming up.
Yep.
Captain Peasley, everything good over there?
Everything's great over there.
Fantastic. Glad to hear you guys are doing well over there.
Thank you.
Questions or comments for Joel? Move for approval by Commissioner Chan, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Joel, well done.
Thanks. Have a
Take
great
care.
night.
Application by Patrick Fitzgibbons, ARA Mark, for a special one-day license to sell, dispense malt beverages and wines for a spring fashion show on Tuesday, April 18th, 2023, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Coburn Hall, 850 Broadway Street.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Patrick Fitzgibbons.
How are you, Patrick?
Very good. How
What's
are you?
going on at this event?
So this is a design course with graduating seniors they're showing off the dresses that they've made for the year, and
Oh,
this
very
is the
good.
final showing, and they're having Prosecco and white wine.
Very good. Questions or comments for Patrick? Motion on the floor by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Chan. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Joe, Patrick, good luck.
Have a good evening.
Take care.
Application for secondhand motor vehicles used car dealer, Class 2, for Lowell Used Car Dealer Incorporated, Din Nguyen, President, for premises at 771 Dutton Street, an open lot approximately 8,100 square feet with an office that is shared with Ben Auto Body. Conditions, maximum of 27 cars for sale and 2 parking spaces for customer or employee.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
My name is Tony Mai. I'll help my friend to fill the form. He barely speaks English, so I will do most of the talking.
Very good. Thank you very much. If I'm not mistaken, John, basically, we're looking at the same application as the previous owner. Is that correct?
The same conditions,
Yeah.
same space.
I see your notes. It says, if you wish, you can add a statement like no junk cars on lot. What are you referring?
Well, that's simply something that's on many of the licenses
Oh,
as a
okay.
condition.
All right,
It's it's not that you necessarily need to add it.
Yeah.
They're renting from Kazanjian, right?
Correct.
And what does Kazanjian do?
It's Bandage Auto Body Shop and owned by the used car lot and the body shop is the same owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where he
There's
is.
an office for selling car, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, the only difference here, we were looking for 2 additional parking spaces, is that correct?
They've already included it,
Okay.
okay?
'Cause
So,
there is plenty of spaces over there, I'm pretty sure, if I remember the last time I was over there.
yeah.
Um,
The actual drawing of the plan
Yeah.
is exactly the same as last
Yeah,
time.
okay.
But Din here has added two additional spaces for customers.
Yeah, we're okay. Questions or comments for the applicant?
Yeah, I'm not too clear on the spaces. It says 2 parking spaces for customer employee. I read that as 2 spaces for both the customer and the employee. And I was thinking there might be more than 1 employee. So,
He's a self-employed person, so he's the only one.
So if he's the only one, why do you need 2?
One for customer in case you come in and buy a vehicle
Okay.
or something. That's what you need to.
where does Ben's Auto Body park?
The auto body go right inside the building.
Yeah.
The car come in, go inside the building.
Ben's
from
is like
here.
on the other.
Okay.
Yeah. Commissioner Chan?
Yeah, I drove by, I stopped by, look at that, yeah. 27, yes, should be enough. And it's right in the corner of Villy and Dutton Street.
Yep.
There might be a lot of cleaning to do right there, right?
I'm sorry, say it again.
There's a lot of cleaning that need to be.
Lip clean, correct, lip clean,
Yeah,
correct,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah, I recommend that.
Thank you.
I don't have a problem with it, but I want to make sure Commissioner Chan is heard here, so let's make sure before you get everything going here, that whole area is cleaned up
Yes.
really well, all right? So it looks presentable for the public, okay?
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
You're all set with that?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
all set, we'll clean it up.
Commissioner Chan, you all set? All right, motion on the floor by Commissioner Chan, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Tell him we wish him the best of luck in his new enterprise, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, you have a good night.
Thank you, good night.
Public hearing on the application by Hot Pot District LLC doing business as Hot Pot to amend their all-alcoholic beverages restaurant license with the change of officers and ownership interest for premises at 135 Middlesex Street, Unit 5.
State your name for the record. Your name, please?
Oh, good evening. My
Good
name is Tony Nguyen, so I'm the one of the owner of the Hot Pot District.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, John, we have gone through this whole process now. We're just looking at just the change of the officers. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so everything is in order. Nothing has changed at all, right?
That's correct.
All right. Are there any questions or comments for the applicant? No. Motion on the floor by Commissioner Chan, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set.
Thank
Good-
you
Good
very
luck.
much. Thank
Okay?
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. Thank you, John.
Hearing regarding the communication from Barry Gollner, Interim Superintendent of Police, dated March 1st, 2023, regarding allegations of misconduct charged against MBOA Alliance, LLC, doing business as Sahel Restaurant and Lounge, 135 Central Street. Peter Tamajang, License Manager, All Alcoholic Beverages Restaurant Licensee. Allegations of misconduct occurred Sunday, February 26, 2023, and are namely, 1, failure to comply with general conditions for an alcoholic beverage license, including crowd control, closing hours, and reentry hours, and 2, failure to promptly notify Lowell Police of the developing situation on the premises.
State your name for the record.
My name is Emile Kamade.
And the gentleman?
My name is Dan Gibson. Pleasure to be here.
Are you representing the client?
No,
You are not?
I'm part of the management team.
You're part of the management team there, okay. I'm going to let Captain Peasley read the complaint, and then we'll go on from there, okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Lowell Police Department respectfully requests that enforcement action be taken against the MBOA Alliance, which does business as Sahil Restaurant and Lounge, 135 Central Street in Lowell, specifically for violations that took place on February 26, 2003, specifically violation of Section 2.01 hours of operation, violation of 2.02 patron entry hours, which specifically states patrons should not be allowed to re-enter or to enter or re-enter a licensed establishment 1/2 hour prior to the licensed establishment's closing time, and for the third violation of 1.20 legal activities, which states all licensees for the sales and service of alcoholic beverages, either the individual, the partnership, the manager of record for a corporation shall notify the Lowell Police Department immediately by telephone or otherwise when any violation of law, disorder, disturbance taking place or is about to take place on their premises. On Sunday morning, February 26, 2023, at approximately 2:15 a.m., officers assigned to the Lowell Police Neighborhood Action Unit were assisting with patrol units in the downtown area when they observed a large crowd gathered in the front area door of the Sahil Restaurant and Lounge located at 135 Central Street. The officers observed several patrons to be exiting as well as re-entering the establishment freely. The officers noted that at this time the bar should have been closed with the interior lights on. Based upon their observations, they parked their cruiser and entered the lounge to investigate further. Upon entering the lounge, officers observed a crowd of approximately 20 to 30 patrons still inside the main first-floor bar level. Additionally, upon walking down into the basement bar, officers discovered more patrons in this area. They also observed the bar staff to be quickly cleaning glasses and bottles from the top of the bar. Eventually, the officers located a male who identified himself as the owner of the bar. He identified himself as Emile Kamadou Wendu, as well as another male who identified himself as the general manager, and his name was Jimmy Nomel. Officers noted that neither man was attempting in any way to remove the crowd from the bar. When Kamandu, Wendu, and Nomel were asked by the officers why they were allowing this large crowd to stay in the bar area after hours, Kamandu Wendu stated that they hired a DJ on this night and that the crowd that attended was much larger than they had anticipated. He stated that his staff could not handle the crowd and he did not know what to do. Officers then advised both men that a simple call to the police department asking for assistance would have prevented this incident from happening. After approximately 10 or 15 minutes, the officers on the scene, with the help of backup officers, were able to clear the crowd out of the bar and disperse them. The incident is very concerning for a couple of reasons. First, the bar admitted that they held an event that created a situation they were not prepared to handle. Specifically, they allowed a large crowd into the bar, knowing that the security staff was understaffed and not properly trained to handle such a crowd. Second, the owner and general manager were observed to be complacent and were making no attempt to disperse the crowd that was now in their bar against the terms of the alcoholic beverage license, nor did they notify or request assistance from the Lowell Police Department. For the reasons stated above, Superintendent Goldner is asking the License Commission to schedule this hearing and discuss the violations.
Thank you, Captain. Appreciate that. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. Kamado?
Kamadu, yeah.
Kamado, okay. You've heard the complaint by Captain Peasley. Do you see any inaccuracies at all in the police report?
Thank you very much for giving me the chance to explain what happened.
Sure.
That day. On that night of the February 26th, I was in my office when I heard a little bit of noise, compared to different night. So I went downstairs and I saw an officer, and he was actually trying to explain to my general manager what was going on. So what I did, I asked him a question if there was any violation, because as the owner, I was not directly involved to the night. I was actually in my office, and my general manager was on the floor. So he told me that there were a few violations. First of all, there were patrons entering into the premise after 2:15, and there were one person downstairs that was apparently was not looking pretty well. I think she was intoxicated, from what he told me, and I immediately I asked my manager to make a count of how many people were actually our staff member, plus the DJ team that came for that night. So we were approximately 10 to 15 people that we count. So what I want to say is, we've been, since we started this project in 2017, we have worked hard to get to the level where we are, and we're still facing a lot of challenges. So that day was was one of those days where, as you plan well, there are a few things that doesn't work well. So that was the only event we had where we have a difficult to ask people to leave the premise after 1:30. We usually stop everything at 1:30, and it took us, almost 30 minutes to ask people to leave. But we usually have security there. We hire a professional security company. But I want to say that was one event that we learned a lot, especially from the police officer. They told us exactly what we need to do and what we can do if those type of issues happen again. So we want to say that we are totally comply with what is on the report. What we're asking is, we want to continue doing business, and we want to do it the right way as usual. So anything that we can do to make our operation going the normal way, to work with the city and the police, we'll continue doing it. Thank you.
And I just wanted to introduce the license holder. Peter has arrived. And on behalf of myself, Dan Gibson, and the management team at Sahel, we can't thank John enough for helping us understand this incident. We've had nothing but terrific relations with the Lowell Police Department. This evening, I think we learned a lot. putting the lights up at 1:30, different things, and I've reviewed, John has given me certain advice, I've reviewed all of the regulations with our staff, and this will not happen again. And we thank you for your patience, and Peter would like to say a few words, if that's okay.
Now, who is the manager of record? All right, who's, you said the general manager. Who's the general manager?
It's Jimmy. Unfortunately, he's not feeling well today. So, yeah, I also play the role of the manager when I'm on site.
Okay, so we have 3 people here that are owners, co-owners, right?
Two owners, I'm on the management team.
Okay. Sir, what's your name?
My name is Peter Tamajo. I'm sorry.
You wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to say we've been here so many times, and I was telling them before we come in here that we work so hard to have the liquor license, and we want to make sure that we comply, and we're working very hard to get everything lined up, and every time that we have business there, we make sure that we follow the rules and get people out. Surely the days that we have more people in the staff, it's sometimes difficult to liquidate them, give them the dues before they leave, and and that's the challenge that we have sometimes. But customers, when it's 1:30, the account is closed and we don't sell. But some days we have many people coming to help us, promoters and people coming to sell, security, cleaning, because you have to get ready for the next day. And you have a lot of people coming in and out. So it's,
Okay.
we're learning.
All right. I actually remember you gentlemen, and I'm sure Commissioner Krieger remembers when you came here, I believe, 5-6 years ago. And I think you were dealing with some electrical issues and building codes and that type of thing. And you persevered and you moved on and you got the place going, and then the pandemic came, so that didn't help you at all. And the construction of the Central Street Bridge has obviously put a damper on business. I fully understand that. And I empathize with that situation. But one thing, and I'm sure Commissioner Krieger and Commissioner Chan will agree with me, is that when we do give these licenses out to applicants, it's with the understanding that the applicant has a full understanding of the Lowell license regulations. It's very important. And it seems as if the 3 of you didn't have a full comprehension of those rules at that time. We're not here to put you out of business. We want to make sure that people are having a good time and they're not leaving a place and something horrific happens. You know, that's what we do here, to make sure your place is safe, and we're here to make sure that you're following the rules and regulations of the Lowell License Commission. All right? Your general manager, is he has a full understanding of the rules and regulations now? Because you had mentioned in your opening statement that you were in your office, and still being the owner, I know when I owned a bar that I always knew when 1:30 came that the lights went on and I called last call. So you have to take some responsibility. It's incumbent upon you to take the responsibility that if your general manager isn't doing his job, then you have to step in and make sure that everything is being followed. So you have to take some blame in this. All right?
Yeah, I totally take full
All right.
responsibility.
Yeah.
And I just want to add that I'm CROWD certified. So and when we hire any manager or supervisor, we do have some training that we give them. But like we mentioned, that night was one of those nights where, you have certain event or situation that go a little bit beyond what we usually plan.
You want to
totally
stop there.
understand.
You don't want to continue. All right. I'll let the other commissioners ask questions that they like. I want to make sure that each of you understand the rules and regulations and that you're not before this board again.
Absolutely.
Do you-
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so I'll let Commissioner Krieger and Commissioner Chan ask any questions that they like at this time.
I don't have any questions. I'm sorry. I don't have any questions. I'm prepared with the motion, though.
All right, Commissioner Chan?
I don't have any question either.
Commissioner Krieger.
Yeah, this is serious business, and therefore we need a serious response. But as the chairman said, we're not about putting you out of business. We're about you making money so you can pay taxes and you helping the public enjoy themselves. So I would move a license suspension for 2 days held in abeyance for 90 days.
Do you understand what that means?
Can you please elaborate, please?
No, yeah. I have an understanding.
You both are looking at, all three of you are looking
no.
at me like you have no
No,
idea.
I think it would be unfortunate if we have to get to that level, but I understand exactly what you're saying. I've been involved in the hospitality business since 1982, and I think they understand it. So in abeyance, meaning there will be a suspension for 2 days. It will not be executed, and it will be held in abeyance for 90 days, did you
Correct.
say?
That's
So
correct.
That's what they're saying.
So if something does happen within that 90-day period and you come before us, those days will be served on top of something else that this board may issue it at another hearing if you do come before us. You do understand that?
We don't, yeah.
You do understand that? All right, so this is kind of a warning or a slap on the wrist, but Commissioner Krieger is correct that this is serious business. And we have to make sure that the public is safe. And I appreciate everything that you've said here. It sounds to me as though you're quite sincere and you want to make this work. You've put a lot of time and investment in this, and you want to make sure it works. And the Lowell Police Department is there for you. If you do have problems, if you do have problems dispersing your crowd, call the Lowell Police Department. You've covered yourself, okay? That's most important, is that you've done your job. All right, we're having a difficult time getting patrons out, or whatever the case may be. Once you give them a call, you've told this board that you've done your due diligence, all right? And the Lowell Police Department will do their job and make sure to help you, all right? They're not there to hurt your business. They're there to help your business.
And actually, we have great relations and appreciate everything the police have done with
And
us.
Captain Peasley, you've spoken highly of the establishments that occurrence, so we appreciate that. Motion is on the floor by Commissioner Krieger, and for 2 days, suspension will be held in abeyance for 90 days. It is seconded by Commissioner Chan. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Gentlemen, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Move adjournment.
Move for adjournment by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Chan. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening.